up? This is Oli for All That Remains. I have some tour tips for you guys that are touring musicians that are pretty much, I think, universal things that everyone should abide by. I'd say tip number one, realize that you are living in a confined space with a lot of people. You gotta stay out of people's way. Always be aware that people are coming down the aisle or coming out of the bunks. Hear voices, just stay in your bunk for a little bit, otherwise you're gonna have some kind of collision and it's just, the hatred just kind of sees over. You want to remain on good terms with everybody, so stay out of people's way. That's tip number one. Tip number two, there's usually a limited space for storing your food items, aka the refrigerator. Everyone has all their own stuff in there, and you have to make sure you differentiate between bus stock, which is for everybody, and personal stuff. So always label your food and whatnot, otherwise if it gets eaten or drunk, then, you know, people get angry about that. Tip number three, this is kind of universal to any kind of entertainment profession, is get plenty of rest. That might seem obvious to people, but I think that in being in the music industry, we're kind of convinced that we should, you know, try to party all the time and be always outgoing and so forth. You have to realize that to be on your game, on stage and whatever, you have to get solid rest. That might mean that you take a nap in the day. You're not lazy. You need to put on a good performance. Look, if you're all tired all day trying to stay up and you go on stage all sluggish, people know that. Get your sleep whenever possible. Tour tip number four, beware the border. If you're going into Canada, your bus needs to be pretty much squeaky clean. Don't give them any reason to detain you. Don't have any drugs. Don't even have your bus a mess, because if your bus is a mess, they're gonna come on and they're gonna look for stuff. You need to have all your paperwork in order. We've had guys that couldn't get to Canada who were bus drivers that had illegal weapons charges and they were like a deadbeat dad. Yeah. I heard one time a lady get to Canada for having a bounced check in 1974. If you have anything on your record, you're not going to get in. You're going to pay a lot of money. So stay legit, man, and keep your bus looking good, have all your paperwork in order. Otherwise, Canada won't have you. And Canadians love to rock and roll, so it's a shame to have to miss out on that country. There's a tip 4A. The other border you have to be careful for is the Mexican border. Now, you're probably not going to cross into Mexico on your tour, but 100 miles out from Mexico, they can legally stop you at any time. They're looking for weed. They might say they're looking for illegals. You probably don't have any illegals on your bus, but if you do have weed on your bus, they're gonna get you. And if you're in Texas, not a good place to be caught. So, I mean, I think Justin Bieber got caught somewhere. And, yeah, it happens, man. Just same thing with Canada. Just be aware of where you are in the country. So keep the illegal stuff, you know, away from those danger zones, and you'll be okay. Tip 5 for being on tour kind of applies to the community of the tour package itself. Let's say you have 4 bands out, whatever hierarchy you happen to fit into, you're all working together. Your crews should work together. If a band can't make it till later for some tragic reason, see if they can swap with your time slot. We've done that many times before. We've done that with Hatebreed, where we were on third, they were on second, we swapped with them, and it was good because in a different situation, they would do the same for us. Anything that makes the package run smoothly, because you're basically a family while you're out there. You gotta treat it as every band on that bill is what matters. It's not just your band or the headliner, it's everything collectively, and that's what people are coming to see, is the collective montage of bands. So act like a family, get along, then you'll get invited back to do more touring and friendships, and it's fantastic. You don't want enemies in this business. I can be thankful to say that I don't think I have any.